I effed up by hooking up with my professor's daughter. I am a typical university student just trying to get through finals week. Tonight, after a very stressful day of exams and studying for my ancient literature class, I decided to casually scroll Tinder. It had been a while and I just needed to de-stress. Little did I know, this would cause me more stress than I could have possibly imagined. I swiped right on a girl who was less than a mile away. She was 25, a little older than me, but she was super hot and she seemed into me, so I went with it. She invited me over to her apartment, and she said that she had to go in 20 minutes, so make it fast. Needless to say, we got straight to business, but about 3 minutes after we began, we heard the front door open. She told me to stop, so I stopped and we listened. The footsteps came in our direction and I got pretty scared. I expected it would be like when my parents caught me a few years ago with my ex, and it would be embarrassing all around. Not at all. The ancient literature professor, who I absolutely despise, and whose test I was frantically studying for, walked into the room and froze. He saw her, gasped, and then saw my face. His face turned red, and he screamed, "Get the FCK out of my house." I'm pretty sure I lost some of my hearing from how loud he yelled. Anyways, I put my shorts on and ran back to my quad. Now, as I lay in bed, all I can think of is how my college professor saw me naked. Not just naked, but he also saw me absolutely raw dogging his daughter without any clothes at all on my Gideon SHT. He already didn't like me, and he is a very tough grader. So I already know that I'm going to absolutely bomb this final and destroy my GPA. I will see him tomorrow at 11 a.m. Update: I have taken the exam, but I still don't know what's going on. I shuffled into class, praying that my life wasn't about to be ruined by this professor. Thankfully, the TA came into the room and said, "Due to a family emergency, the professor will not be proctoring today's exam. He will email you back with your graded exam by the end of Saturday." Right after the TA said this, she started handing out the tests. When she came to me, she gave me this look and laughed before giving me the exam. I thought, great, now the administration probably knows. Anyways, I took the test and actually, I think I did pretty well. As soon as I got out of the room, I checked my email. It's a habit, and the professor had emailed me. Below is the email without the names. Please meet my wife, myself, and the Dean of Academic Affairs in the building tomorrow at 1 p.m. There, we will discuss our situation and how to proceed. Thank you in advance for your understanding and cooperation. Best, Professor. I don't know what to think. First of all, I didn't do anything wrong. I have no idea why his wife is getting involved, but there was verbal and written consent, and if I need to, I can use the Tinder DM history to prove it. Also, his daughter has an IUD, so there's no way that this is going to turn into a pregnancy. The main thing I'm worried about is how this will affect my relationship with my professors and the administration. Update: over the last couple hours, I have gone from being terrified of possibly getting sued to possibly becoming a school legend. Unfortunately, a few of my friends found my Reddit post, and because of the class name and my professor being absent, they know exactly what happened. Anyways, here's the update. Right after making the last post, I got an email saying that the meeting had been changed. Everyone involved was supposed to meet a little later in a noise-proof room. BC, they didn't want anyone else to hear or get involved. Anyways, we met at around 2:30, and the professor and the Dean of Academic Affairs sat across from me. Like many of you predicted, his wife, the person who I now know was the daughter that I hooked up with, walked in, with a ring this time. Luckily, she and the professor didn't try to make any claims, like assault or malicious intent. Surprisingly, the meeting was pretty quiet and simple. 2 other professors would evaluate the class exams instead of professor to ensure fairness. Under the student handbook, the professor, if they have an issue with a student, is required to submit all of my previous exam/class materials to the administration for evaluation. Probably obvious, but the scheduling office will put me into another professor's class next semester. I know that the meeting went as well as it could, but my situation is far from perfect because my friends found the posts and have told a large portion of our friend group. Damn casual Tinder hookups.